Hello everyone, this is Luciana with Motion Crafts, and today we have a very special animation clear stamp and die cut combo, the A2 camera. This is such a unique and fun set to have. You can see how the camera shutter opens up and you see the heart blinking, so it's a lot of fun to see the animated effect in the camera. And what's also great is that it comes with a lot of different animation stamps that you can stamp in the center of the camera and you get different animation effects. Super fun. Here we use it in a scrapbook layout with some adorable pictures, and here you can see it in an A2 card. So when the camera is ready with the flash and everything, it's around 4 by 5 inches, so it will fit perfectly in an A2 card. The kit comes with a 6 by 8 inches clear stamp that's made here in the US out of photopolymer, and it also comes with all the die cuts that you need to finish your camera project. Included also is the animation grid die cut to help you create your own animation grid out of any color cardstock that you choose. Remember that it has very skinny lines, so you should treat it as any other detail die cut using your precision base plate or the usual plate combination for your die cut machine when you're die cutting detail die cuts. For your animated stamps, you're going to get the shutter with the blinking heart, a blinking star, the blinking heart, and the next one is like a blinking heart with like a white and solid heart. We have circle die cuts that will help you create your circle frames and the matching stamps to go in each of the frames. You can also die cut it out of design paper and then mix and match with the stamps. We had a lot of fun designing all the little accessories for your camera, so you have the stamps and the coordinated die cuts that will help you create and complete your project. We love that you get also your animation grid die cut, and this one we designed it as a slider and also to complete the shape of our camera. So let's start with our project. First we're going to die cut the front of the camera using the main rectangle die, and then I'm going to use it again on white cardstock just to have the base of the camera ready. This is where we'll stamp the animated image for the camera shutter, so white cardstock will work just fine. Now that you have the front of the camera ready, you can start decorating it. I'm going to add a banner at the bottom of it just before die cutting the circle in the center. So once you're ready, mark the center and die cut using the smaller of the circles. Then keep using the rest of your circle die cuts to make your frames. You can choose any coordinating paper for your project, but also you can choose something more solid so you can stamp all the different stamps that we have for the frames. I'm going to show that in the next project, but here I just used like a shiny gold, and then I was having a lot of fun deciding which pattern to use to have a better combination for this camera. So I got it thinking I was going to use the pink, but I felt like I needed a little bit more contrast. So I decided to use the pattern on the back and then the pink for the outer ring. I think that looks super cute and everything coordinates. So now I'm going to decide which stamp to stamp for the camera shutter. This first stamp that I'm showing here that is like darkest that you'll see in the set, it is kind of like the camera shutter. So we designed it thinking of like it's closed, then it's opening, and then you see a heart. And with the animation effect, it turns out to be like a blinking heart that appears from the shutter of the camera. So I think it's super cute and we love the animation effect. For all our animation stamps, we design a straight base so it's easier for you to know which one is the right position to stamp it. So I'm going to use the front of the card as a reference so I know exactly where to stamp. For this project, I decided to use a blue animation grid, so I'm stamping my stamp with a similar blue tone so it matches when I use my animation grid. So when you're choosing your color to stamp your animation stamp, remember that the animation effect shows the best when you choose a similar color for your cardstock when you die cut your animation grid. So here we have some of the few stamps that we can stamp on our frames. We call this one Memorex A2. I think that's super fun, to give the camera a name. But for this frame, I decided to choose the circle that matches perfectly with the size of your outer frame. And it says Capture Life, Memories, Love, Smile. So I think it's super cute and it goes all around. And it's a very cute way to decorate your frame. So before I stamp the circular sentiment, what I'm doing here is I place it on my outer frame as a reference. I make sure that all the words are going to be stamped inside, and then I press lightly against the table so I catch it with my block, and then I put ink and I'm ready to stamp. I love the sentiments and I love that it goes all around it, so I think it goes perfect with the camera. So now that I have all my frames ready, I'm going to glue them to finish the front of my camera, and I'm ready to die cut my animation grid. Your animation grid has very skinny lines, so we're going to treat it as any other detailed die cut. I'm going to be using the C6 Big Shot, so for all my detailed die cuts, I use the Precision Base Plate. I like turning my die cut a little bit diagonally so it has a little bit more of even pressure when you run it through your die cut machine. Also, because I want my lines to be very clean and crisp, I ran the die cut twice, back and forth. We added some little poke holes so it's easier to get the grid out. And then I like to go all the way around instead of just pulling from one side so my lines don't bend. Now we're ready to test our animation stamp. I love how the camera shutter opens and closes and you can see the heart, so it's working perfectly. After you die cut your animation grid, just make sure to clean the little lines in the die so it's ready for the next time we want to use it. Now that we have everything ready, we can put our slider together. The way that we design the animation grid is also so we can use it as a track and as a stopper at the same time. So right here, I'm making sure that the bottom of the grid doesn't show on top of the shutter. Let's say when you put your front of the camera, you're going to have the circle window. You don't want the thicker part of the bottom of the grid to be showing. So I'm going to start by adding double-sided foam strip in the bottom, and then making sure that my grid's straight. I'm going to move it again all the way up to know where to place the double-sided foam strip as the stopper. This will create a track for my animation grid to slide back and forth, and also is going to prevent it from sliding through. I think it's great and very practical to have our animation grid to also function as the slider and the stopper at the same time. Before closing the car, I just like to test it to make sure that it doesn't show and the animation grid is straight and is working properly. Here I decided to die cut all the little camera accessories in white cardstock so I can explain a little bit how to use them. There's no right or wrong way of decorating your camera. That's why we added so many different little accessories so you can make it your own. For this little rectangle, I thought it would be nice to have two separate stamps so we can use two different shades of the color. And this is to mimic the glass of the flash when it's actually not flashing. Then we added some stamps that will match your die cuts as well. So it's kind of like those are the wheels that help you choose the different functions and the different settings for your camera. So the base of the stamp also matches the shape of the die cut, so you know which one will go and correspond to which die cut. We also have a very small rectangle here that is solid. It's just because if you use white cardstock like this, you can match it with the ink that you already use and coordinates with your camera. This one can be the button that you actually click when you're taking the picture. I also love that you get this die cut that is the flash, like flashing, and I decided to die cut it with a gold shiny paper, so it looks great for this project. You can also put it in the front of the camera like some cameras have, but this one I use it like it's the camera that pops the flash from the top of the camera, so that's why I place it right there. I also put another button on the other side of the camera, and that can be the zoom or another button for your menu. You can have a lot of fun with these little dies and stamps and then make it your own and mix and match your stamps to finish your project. So this is our finished animated camera, and I think it's so pretty and it's so much fun to see the camera in action. I love that the animation is an actual camera shutter, so I can't wait for you to try it and see it for yourself when you're actually making your project and you see the camera come into action. So I decided to go ahead and make another quick camera so we can see each of the other animated stamps. So I wanted to start by showing you the different stamps that you can use in your frames. So this one will be the smallest of the frames, and you can stamp happy memories, and I think that's super cute for the inner frame. And then also you have kind of like the specifications of your camera that you can stamp in the bottom. So you can leave it just like this with a happy memory sentiment on the top, or you can stamp the other one that has the 35 mm that some of the lenses have, and you can stamp that one in the bottom as well. For the next frame, we also have a couple of different stamps that you can choose from. This one, it says Memorex A2, and we think is a very cute name for our camera. And then we also have another stamp that we can stamp in the bottom that it says pull up and watch me move. So that is perfect for our slider. And for the outer frame for this project, we decided to just die cut it with some shiny gold since we already used the other circle sentiment in the previous project. I decided to stamp my animation stamp with some dark pink. So for the animation grid, I'm going to choose a matching color. So this heart animation stamp that also has a circle is kind of like a blinking growing heart that you can see that it goes from color to white because the background of the circle transforms into that color. So it's super fun animation effect. We love it. I'm going to finish decorating the camera with the other die cuts, and here I'm die cutting the pull tab so it coordinates with the rest of my camera. So I used the rest of the die cuts and the rest of the stamps to finish decorating my camera. And now you can see how the blue one works with the shutter and the pink one works with the heart, and then you can create different projects and different cameras, and they both look amazing. Now we're going to use the animated star that it also has the circle, so it's very similar to the blinking heart. I'm going to be using the same camera that I just made for the heart, and then I'm going to be changing the animation stamps so we can see the different animations for each stamp. So here you can see how fun it is. It's like a growing blinking star, just like the heart we just did. It's super fun to see the star blinking like that, and they all fit perfectly in the circle window for your camera. So you're going to have a lot of fun choosing what animated stamp to use. The other animation stamp that we have is a growing heart without the background. So this is another animation effect that we really love because you can really see the heart growing and beating. It's so cute. Well, those are all the animation stamps that we have in the set. So as you can see, you can make a lot of different projects using the same camera and combining with the different animation stamps. We also included two different stamps that are not animated, but they also fit inside the circle frame. And this is why we love this set so much. You have so many different stamps, and you can use animated and non-animated stamps to complete your project. And the last stamp that you can use for your camera is this solid heart that it goes so well with this project. So you can choose your own ink and your own color to coordinate with your final project. Another thing that I love about this camera stamp and die cut combo is that you can use it for your scrapbooking layouts, your planners, your journals, and also for card making. The finished camera is 4 by 5 inches, and it fits perfectly in an A2 card that's 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches, hence the name Memorex A2. I think that is so cute and funny. I also love scrapbooking, so I need to have the camera in one of my layouts. These are my adorable nephews, Matthew and Sammy, and I'm in love with this page. I think it's so cute, and you have the interactive element of the camera and the animation effect. This is one of my favorite stamps and die cut combo because it's so much fun and so versatile. I even use some of the non-animated stamps to make some embellishments around the page. And you can choose for so many different animation effects and different animation stamps, so it's a lot of fun. And the other project I wanted to show you using this camera kit is how to decorate a journal page. I wanted to add these adorable pictures with a description sibling. It says a best friend for life, and I found it that it was so cute and adorable to just get it in my journal and have it there forever. And I wanted to have an interactive and animated element there. So the only stamp that you're going to be able to use in the other direction, side to side, it will be the star, because the star can be rotated and the animation will show exactly the same. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a lot of fun watching this video and that you learned a little bit more about our animation stamps. I had a lot of fun making all these camera projects, and I can't wait to see yours. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us so you don't miss any of the animation stamps and products that we're currently working on. Have an amazing day.